Without Pants, starring Brett Scott and Dylan Jacobson.
I guess that's a good enough intro. It's way more than I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I don't know.
Sup, this is Without Pants?
Yeah, I guess. So, what movie did we watch?
Well, today, or for this, we were supposed to have watched the Robocop remake. Without Pants, starring Brett Scott.
Yeah, and we're totally not seeing you on the YouTube stream, so I have to bounce back and forth automatic or manually because the automatic thing is all busted. I watched RoboCop. So, what's your take on that movie?
It's a movie.
Do you not like it compared to the old series?
Comparing it to the old movies, no. But if I have to take it as it sits by itself, yes. But then again, if like the other three RoboCop movies didn't exist, I would like this a lot more.
I can agree with that. I had a lot of issues with it and a lot of compliments, but way more issues.
One question real quick. In the beginning, I swear, it starts out his left hand is human, and then they switch to the right.
I know, I saw that too, and I was like, wait, are we in the mirror? Is that going to be their excuse? But they don't ever address it, but I swear you're right.
Before they did the mirror.
I know!
And I watched it, like, I'm trying to piece this together, like, what? This ain't right. They flipped it.
I know. It's like, what the fuck? But they did. Yeah, they totally flipped it. I don't know why. And that was like my first big gripe, because in the beginning I was like, holy shit, no one told me Sam Jackson was in this movie.
I thought that was silly with the blah, blah, blah.
The what now?
Like when it's opening, instead of the lion roaring, he's like, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
His little what? I didn't necessarily like the fact that we were going like a behind the scenes of like the news. I would have just rather have it been like, this is in the newsroom. We don't need to see these people on the cameras and stuff.
Right.
That was me.
Did they even do all that much news stuff in the first flick? I don't even remember.
Well, they did do news like segments, but it was just straight up like you're watching the TV. You're not there in the studio with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. And was the newscaster even as important?
No. The news weren't. They're just like, this happened. Also, another quick note. I think saving the hand was pointless.
Well, I had a few reasons for saving the hand, but let me first say, they put Sam Jackson in a role that means nothing, and that's not his real hair at all.
No, I know. I was staring at that the entire time, like, what?
Like it was a rug. It was like all swooped back and like, what?
Well, come on. He had his head shaved for the Avengers as Nick Fury.
I know. I was just like, man, they just fucking put some wig on him, and then, so yeah, we'll get to the hand. I think that they kept the hand because, they didn't address this at all, but if he keeps his hand, then he has fingerprints for, like, I don't know, a door or something, just anything that might be activated by a fingerprint.
That could be.
But then
I was thinking it was some sort of a toss back to like in the original movies when they said we saved the left arm.
I agree with that. And it was the left arm in the beginning of this movie.
Yes. But then it was suddenly boom, because then he reaches it. Because when he goes to shake the guy's hand, it's the right hand, no, the left hand, and it's robotic.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, wait, wasn't it? And then I was trying to like brain myself at the mirror. But you're right. I know you're right.
I mean, I didn't notice it when I first saw it in theaters, but as we're watching it, I watched it again 2 weeks ago, and then just today. I'm like, what the fuck?
No kidding. Like, I don't understand why they could make that continuity error. Maybe it was on purpose, but the only other reason I could see for keeping the hand is, spoilers, at the end, he runs his hand through his kid's hair. And it's like, that's Daddy's hand. but they don't ever talk about that.
I suppose.
Like,
I
I don't know. It was goofy.
And the aspect of like saving his lungs too was that just didn't make sense. There were so many things they did bigger.
Why save his lungs? I don't get that either. I was like, they did that with General Grievous too. What the fuck? Like, why? Those seem so unimportant. They did show that he had blood like going through him, and they put the tube in the back of his head.
Oh yeah, because
he
can't do it himself.
Pause. If you're watching this, we're gonna spoil fucking everything.
Well, this movie's been out for like 2 years or so.
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah. So I was like, well, you need oxygen in your lungs to get into your blood to support your body. However, there's not much of his body left, but his brain really in his face. And I'm sure a face doesn't take that much oxygen.
No.
But I was like, maybe they can't synthesize lungs to put oxygen in there? Does he even have a heart left?
No, they didn't even show that.
Like, what?
The actual remnants of what was left of him were just mind-boggling. And like 2 other things right here. One was like the manner in which he became Robocop, and the other was the fact that he didn't really die.
Right. In the original flick, Murphy died, right?
He got shot in the head. And when he took the helmet off, you could see the bullet. He got literally shot to pieces.
I remember it being like way more like holy crap looking when they revealed the like mangled little bits of him left and he's alive.
Yep.
And then they put all the stuff on him. Like that was way more impressive in the original movie.
Yeah, I mean this one, sure, it still has that like holy shit thing, but it's not as impressive as someone just as like 5 or 6 guys, all with guns, unloading on you. And he still slightly survived the explosion.
Right. Well, I was going to say, I think one of the things that made it less impressive is the CG. Because the original film does have CG in it, but there's a lot of practicals going on. And so they did a really good job of like making him look like this thing that shouldn't be alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was just like, here's a CG dude with a real face. And I don't know, I didn't feel it, you know?
Oh, one quick question. Also, like in the beginning scene, you know, when they're like the Ed 29s and the EM whatevers are doing that little sweep thing,
right?
When the terrorists decide. Did you feel anything for that kid? Because I did not.
No, I really didn't. And I know that sounds like heartless, but
yeah, I mean, I'm like, you stupid. They told you to stay there. You're the oldest son in this family, and so what do? You grab a knife, and I'm not sure what he was thinking, if he was like going to try to help his dad's cause, but it didn't. When it happened to him,
terrorist, right? Oh. Like his dad's a terrorist, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Suicide bomber, yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did they even show anything other than Detroit in the original movie?
No, it was just straight up Detroit.
So I can respect that. I mean, it's like, look, times have changed. This is a new thing. We're always concerned about the Middle East for some reason now. We can't even make a movie that doesn't have something to do with it. So I get that. Like, it's culturally responsive and things. But I didn't care at all.
Yeah.
Like, wow, the CG looks pretty good.
I think that all that really did was like drive the point that the point of the story is we're using machines in other countries, and look how well it's going there. They love it, and over here we can't use them at all.
Right. And they did it. They didn't fully get into how like incredibly propaganda driven that news show was. We're just like, holy shit, robots, and they kind of touched on it, but I feel like they're going to make it as important as it seemed. That would have been a good thing to get a little further into, or just not do the news stuff as much as they did.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. It's like, and it makes them feel like they can trust us, and they love it. And the people out there going like,
yeah,
Please don't kill me.
I did like the little kid that wanted to touch the robot. I liked that.
I liked that one. That was funny.
But did they have in the original movie? Did they have those? What'd you call the ones
They
that look
called
like Iron Man?
the what?
The fucking Ultrons.
No, they didn't have those. They just had the Ed 209s.
That's what I thought, and I was like, where did these stupid Ultron things come from? Like, why do they even need Robocop now?
Well, what's really interesting too is did you see the flying one too?
Yeah, the drone, like, it was basically just a stealth bomber that was on autopilot.
It reminded me of the drone from Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines.
Yeah, I kept thinking that the walking suit dudes were like the Terminator meets Ultron. Like, do you disagree?
No, I can see it. I can definitely see it.
Also, where the hell was Kurtwood Smith? He should have been in this.
He should have made a cameo, I know.
He was a great villain in the first one.
No kidding.
So I was like jonesing for him, but we did get Michael Keaton. And I like that. I actually found myself more intrigued by Michael Keaton than anything else in the entire movie.
Yep.
Just yet. No big response. Just yet.
No, I mean, yeah, I liked it too, but I was expecting maybe like a couple cameos from someone else, like instead of Dr. Norton, it was Dr. Lazarus who kind of brought him back. The whole process of like, it felt like it was trying to do two things: one, be RoboCop; two, stand by itself. Oh wait, and three, it crammed the three movies into one.
Yeah, it really did. But you know, I've heard a lot of people compliment that it crammed all three movies into one, which I could kind of be okay with. But if it was going to do that, why didn't it cut to the chase faster? We spent so much fucking time with them doing like nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
and they also did throw in I don't know if you caught them, a few of the lines from it.
Yeah, I did catch that.
But like they were out of place. So especially like it was changed to I wouldn't buy that for $1, but
right.
from those the TV show they'd watch every now and then, the guy, I'd buy that for $1.
Right. And then
at the end,
I wanted to see that blue outfit they designed. I was like, holy shit, they start with the original one? And they don't.
Did you catch that when he's saying this is assault mode, when he's like saying this is what he can look like?
Mm-hmm.
Before he did the like transform thing, he looked just like the original RoboCop.
I know, and I liked that.
They should have done that, because what they could have done now is made it like a little more like streamlined a little bit, make it a little more badass. And that was also kind of the entire time when he was walking, I kept wanting the whoa, 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 boom, 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 the noise he made when he walked around.
Right.
I didn't necessarily get that as much.
Right. Well,
there was some, but
I noticed a lot of times they put the freaking like robotic geary noises in where they didn't need to. Like, it's cool when he's up close and you're like, because he's a robot. But then they show like he's behind a piece of glass. We're on the street. He is like 200 feet away in a building, and then you hear him go, and you're like, dude, you wouldn't do that at all. That's fucking dumb.
That was dumb. But I also like the fact that the original RoboCop movie, they teased us before showing us what he looked like.
Right, and that seems to be a problem with anything that has some sort of special effect these days, is instead of like teasing us with it and getting us excited, they're just like, boom, here it is, $1 million effect shot. And you're like, okay.
Because in the first one, there's the whole point of him being Bill. He keeps turning himself on, they turn him off. You see him through like that police glass that you can't really see through, but light goes through and you can see his shadow. You see like his shoulder and like his back for a little bit, and then you see his arm shooting the gun, and then suddenly, boom, there he is.
So now, do you own this movie?
No, I do not. I kind of have qualms about buying this. I might wait for like to wind up in like the $2 bin at Walmart before I actually buy it.
Because it wasn't very good. And I'm so glad. I was worried. I was like, oh my God, Brett's going to like this, and I hate it. Oh, I was struggling to care for most of it. I liked the very beginning.
Okay. Stop. You need to pause for a minute and go, take that sense. Brett's going to like this. You need to stop and think, what was I saying when I went and saw this movie when it came out?
Right.
All this stuff right now, and all of you are kind of like, oh, it probably wasn't that. It's the remake, and kind of like trying to give it like the benefit of the doubt. But you, right now, confirmed it.
It wasn't very good, but like I said, I did like the beginning, kind of. The end was great for me, especially, I'm just going to fucking spoil everything. He kind of looked like he was in the original Robocop uniform at the end.
A little bit.
I like it.
I would have liked a little bit more if there was a scene where he had the ratchet into his head, just temple, just kind of tightening something, like at the end of the second movie.
Right, that would have been cool. Also, here's why I don't like the black outfit. Because something that's got color to it shows shadow and light so much better. And this is just like, here comes a black blob on a motorcycle! And it didn't mean anything to me.
I know it was they went with like SWAT, it's tactical, it's more representing of badasses in the police force, but at the same time, he's not Robo SWAT.
I think they did. Oh man, I got it to work.
You got it to work?
It's doing the thing. I'm done clicking. I think.
Now?
Yeah, I just had to click on your name twice. How dumb am I? I guess I'll remember it now. But, you know, I feel like they did the black because of Batman. And I feel like they did most of the new robotics and the Ultrons because of Iron Man, which is fine. But, like, come on.
Yeah.
At least they got an actor that I didn't recognize to be Robocop, because that would have been upsetting if it was like, look, it's fucking Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, God.
That would have just been a disaster and a half. We got all... what? I'm checking to make sure we're not getting updates about our little vlog here, but...
Oh.
What were we going to say?
You know, I was just thinking, I kind of wish they would have like left some scarring on his face slightly, because you know in the original one, after he took his helmet off, he did have that spot where the bullet went in.
Yeah, his face was like pristine, except halfway through the movie, he got a bunch of acne around here, and they didn't make up it out very well.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It actually kind of bugged the shit out of me because it like, I apologize for that. It just kind of made it feel like I could tell when they were doing certain shots, because it's like, oh, his zits are back, and now they're gone. His zits are back, and now they're gone. You know? I don't know.
Maybe it was one of those movies where they slightly rushed it a little bit because of the name. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and did you feel like they spent a ridiculous amount of time just playing with RoboCop in the laboratory at the beginning? Like a half hour or 45 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, like in the first movie, they did pretty much what all that was in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Granted, it wasn't like an urban combat testing or having like a... And also, for the other thing, it started out since Alex Murphy was dead, and they put him like fixed parts of the brain and made the machine come in, and later he became aware of who he was. And here he was like, "I'm Alex Murphy" straight away. Then they dumbed it down to Robocop.
I kind of liked that, but I think I do like the original way better. It was cool that he was given the opportunity to be like, "Dude, I want to die," but I don't know. Do you feel like he brought the guy who killed him to justice like way easy?
Yeah, that was the other thing. I didn't like I said, they kind of took 3 movies, the first 3, put it into one, because there was more of a struggle with Kirkwood Smith on that fight.
Because
and then there's
Smith. You want to see him?
Yeah. And then, as well as the confrontation with the police, you kind of wish that was a little bit drawn more made fit a little bit. It felt like it was kind of like they took something, shook it up, and slammed it down, and said, "There we go."
Right? Oh my God, it didn't feel like anything.
And then at the very end, where the confrontation with the owner of the company, it's
with Batman.
with Batman. Even what's really bad is like the line where he's at the end, he says, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me."
Oh, his delivery is terrible. Oh my God, he ruined it.
It was terrible. It was forced, and what's funny is he was forcing that to get out because he was trying to raise the gun to shoot him.
Right. It was like the worst time for him to say it. It should have been the first fucking thing he said. And then everyone would have been like, "Oh my God, Robocop!" But they just...
And they only called him Robocop, like...
I think the only person who did it was Sam Jackson.
Yeah, he only did it and he did it once. Because everyone else is still recognizing him as Alex Murphy.
Did he have a wife and kid in the first movie?
Yeah, but they weren't involved after the accident.
Oh, because he was dead.
After he got shot. Yeah, he was dead. They had a funeral, buried him and everything, and then OCP came in, got the body, and said, "We're playing Frankenstein."
So I think you're right. Even though everyone's been complimenting that they could compact 3 movies into one, and I think they're just complaining because fucking The Hobbit is too long. But it felt like too much stuff, so nothing felt important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could have done more with the family and just focused on that. Focused on the getting his family back thing and then fighting Omnicorp. Or they could have focused on finding his original killer. Or they could have focused on the bad cops. But they just...
The bad cops, his killer, they were like that important in the whole thing.
I know, but they took forever to get there because we spent like 15 minutes in a freaking VR simulator, and then we spent another like 20 minutes running around in a live simulation just to establish a relatively minor bad guy. The guy who only wanted real robots, the military dude. Like, they kind of make him the semi-boss at the end, but he goes down easy. And his buddy cop, who we didn't really even get to know, takes him down.
Well, no, he took down... Oh, yeah, he took down the military guy who did the initial program.
Yeah, the asshole. I don't know his name, but the Robocop calls him an exosuit with an asshole in it.
Yeah.
So we'll call him the asshole. But, yeah, like, they kind of made him out to be more important than he was, which I feel like a lot of things felt that way. It's like, I'm going to find the guy who killed me. And it doesn't matter. The cops are crooked. Oh, it doesn't matter.
And in the first movie, in the other 3 movies, his partnership with Lewis was a lot more meaningful and involved because, in the end, Lewis was his only friend after becoming RoboCop. Right.
He's the only one who actually saw him as a person anymore.
Well, and also, I guess it's not a minor thing, but Lewis was a woman.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Well, and I wouldn't have even remembered the name Lewis had you not said it, because in this movie, they didn't... Did they say it? Maybe once? Like...
Couple, like, twice, and then it kind of held with his last name once, and then just referred to him. Yeah, like, he got kind of backburnered. Everything...
One really dumb black guy joke where Murphy comes into the station halfway...
I now know what color now I know you're the right color.
Yeah. What? What? The comedy was awful. And I don't remember there being that much comedy in the original ones.
I'm not sure how to say there was and wasn't, kind of.
Yeah?
I mean, it was there, but like you barely notice it because the rest of those movies stand up so well for what they actually do with telling a good story. I mean, I think probably one of the best parts in the first RoboCop movie is when he confronts not Lawrence Bodeger, but one of the other guys who comes up to the gas station and says, "I know you. We killed you. You're dead." And that triggers the whole, wait, what?
Oh,
and he starts, and he goes and he starts to piece everything back into there, looking for Clarence.
Right. Yeah, that's a. Did these people watch the original movies? Like, I don't even know.
Apparently not. And you know what? That has me terrified for the Ghostbusters movie.
And, well, let's not even touch on that.
No, let's not.
But I did like seeing Ed 209 in a new CG, sleek-looking outfit, basically.
I'm kind of partial to the old version of it a little bit, and I kind of wanted him to growl a little bit more.
Me too. And I was going to say, I actually really missed that crappy rocket launch.
Like, the one with the guiding string.
Yeah, I love that. Why did they take out those good things?
Oh, it's because we can't. Those era movies. One of the things that we love about them is how campy they are. You take like the Evil Dead movies and the Army of Darkness. Those are silly as hell, but at the same time, brutally juicy.
I think one of the things we're coming to understand is if it's not like horror, and when I say horror, I mean like classic like Frankenstein, The Wolfman, Mummy, or Dracula, that we can't really be remaking movies all the time. Like, those horror movies that I just referenced have been remade so many times, even at the dawn of them being movies where they remade over and over again, that I feel like they're okay to keep remaking, because whatever. But, like, maybe Robocop should have just been left alone. Maybe they should have just spent the money for the movie to actually make that statue that everyone was talking about.
Yeah. So, like, Hollywood's originality has gone downhill, kind of. There are some gems that will come every now and then, but once they just you start hearing remake, it gets a little iffy. But that said, I'm kind of gonna go a little devil's advocate here and say one remake I thought was pretty good, and there's another one that if it happens, I'm looking forward to. And the one that I thought was decent was the Judge Dredd movie they did.
I've heard that a lot. I haven't seen it yet, so I hear it's actually better than the original.
Well, I think it is. I think it is too, because like one of the many things in it is he doesn't take his helmet off at all, so you don't have like that sense of like connecting to him, but it works that way because everyone would be expecting Sylvester Stallone under that helmet,
right? So
and then it also
go ahead,
and it follows the comics more, I believe, that it's based off.
So in this new one, you never see his face?
You only see nose down. And it's only like this.
Do you think in the original one they showed his face just because it was Sylvester Stallone?
I think they wound up showing his face because for a lot, like, partly, and two, because of the story dictated, because he got arrested and he's not going to be allowed to have his helmet when he goes to jail.
Yeah, I suppose, but I don't know. I agree, dude. Like, I'm afraid of a lot of these remakes, but it's kind of the way of Hollywood. They've been doing it forever. They've been taking books and other movies and plays and TV shows and everything.
But like the one I'm looking forward to was I guess it was like a box office flop. It didn't do very well, and it's your favorite nap movie.
My what now?
Your favorite nap movie. Whenever we'd watch in the dorms at DSU, you'd never be able to sit through the whole thing without falling asleep.
iRobot. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yes, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, I've never seen that all the way through.
I put it on about half hour in. I look over.
And I remember one of the first times you put it on, it was like 11:30, and I was like, I only fell asleep because it was so late. I can't stay up that long. And then I think you started at like 7 or 8 one night, and I fell asleep. So I don't know what my problem is.
Yeah. but they're supposed to be doing that movie as well. I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
Another one?
Yeah, no, they're remaking The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, I thought you were telling me that the one that you've been trying to show me for 10 years was a remake. Whoops.
No,
But,
no, that's the first one they did.
oh, well, maybe I'll stay awake for the remake. I don't know.
Tell you what, we'll go see it when it comes to theaters, and if you fall asleep during it, I'm going to ask the guy sitting behind us to kick the seat.
Maybe you'll have to hire somebody to sit behind me. I got to get this thing out from under my feet or I'm going to fucking play with it all night. All right. There we go. I'm standing. Isn't that weird?
Why are you standing?
Because my table and chairs are at my parents' house.
Okay.
So I didn't want to sit on the couch. I don't know. So I'm standing. But
Fair enough. Fair enough.
it is whatever. I can close that now. But so, any other thoughts about RoboCop before we tangent?
I hope that's all they do.
I feel like there's not room for more unless they make up stuff, which could be better. Maybe.
You know what? If they made stuff up, it probably would be. That was probably what they should have done. A lot of times with remakes, what they need to do is just like, here's the characters, here's the setting. And that's all we're taking.
New story. Maybe some of it reflects on the old stuff, but it's all new. Nothing's the same. I think that might be better. I think you're right about that. But you know what I'm afraid of is if they do this, they're just going to be like, RoboCop goes to Iraq and blows up terrorists.
Oh, God.
You know? Like, did they build him in China in the first movie, or did they build him in, like, a warehouse in the U.S.?
They built him at OCP.
That's what I thought. They built him, like, in Detroit. The whole thing was in Detroit, wasn't it?
Yep.
If I lived in Detroit and I saw this, I'd be fucking pissed. Like,
yeah.
Holy crap, they took everything away. They're like, go back to China and build him over there. Like,
he comes back to over America, and some of his sons looking, Dad, why does your ass say made in China? Well, son, for one, why are you staring at my ass? And two, it says what?
Exactly. He probably didn't even know. Well, he did know he was somewhere. I don't know if he knows he's in China. But
I think he got the idea when he was in China after he jumped the wall and was running through a rice field.
Yeah, that's probably true. You're right about that. Yeah.
That and everyone was speaking Chinese. Or no, Mandarin. Mandarin, my bad.
There were 4 Ed 209s at the end. Weren't there 2 in the first movie?
There was a grand total of... one. There was actually only one.
At the end of the first movie?
Yeah, by the end of the first movie, because the one we saw that opened up, that malfunction, was the same one later that shot up the buildings upstairs, and that RoboCop blew up with the anti-tank cannon.
Yeah, and the fucking Ed 209s were malfunctioning. They never malfunctioned in this movie. They were fine.
And that was like the reason that the RoboCop project was greenlit, is because the Ed 209 program,
because robots were unreliable.
Yeah. Because that's what it was. It was like the robots were unreliable. They had faulty bugs. They
now
wanted
it's backwards. Now it's like the robots are so reliable that RoboCop is faulty.
Yeah, there's no point in going backwards. Because initially what they wanted, they had trouble trying to figure out a way to program the robots to get the bugs out to make them perform policeman duties. But then they said, but the RoboCop program was like, we just take a cop with all his years of experience and training, stick him in a tin can.
Right.
And there you go.
I propose that in the original RoboCop, him suddenly getting his humanity back is literally a superpower. This literally makes him better. In this movie, him having his humanity is just something for the bad guy to beat down.
Yep.
They keep saying he's the best when he has none. And we only see him do one thing when his humanity is in full control, and that's simply go, Dead or alive, you're coming with me. And that was it.
Yeah. I also kind of didn't like the way that he actually maintained his original like voice.
It wasn't like robotic very much. It was a little robotic when the visor came down, but not much.
Somewhat, but I'm thinking because Alex Murphy had the original, like the English, like the two of us back and forth, and then afterwards it was more of like there was no pitch change to it. It was all like a straight monotone.
Right, like the vocal emotion was gone.
Yeah, and that's what they kind of did when they lowered his dopamine levels.
Right.
It kind of got to that, but it didn't have that same feel that the first movies RoboCop did.
I'd like to talk to a biochemist to know if that's exactly how dopamine would work. Like, if I remove it all, am I just going to be flat? It's almost like they gave him a lobotomy by taking out dopamine.
Yeah.
But
and they did say like I guess you're saying like his humanity like was superpower, but here his humanity just is something from the beat down. You could say like almost his humanity restoring undoing what they did to him kind of would be like a little bit, but they didn't really kind of touch on it that much. It was like he's undoing it. How? I don't know. And that was it.
That's brain magic. Brain magic. Even though we know now that if you have less of a brain, usually you're fine. We have people with like that have literally less brain. But when you take horrible brain damage, you can't fix that. So like when they're putting stuff in his head and like literally breaking parts of his brain, I don't think he can recover. Especially when they're putting stuff in there in order to like act as something. Like they gave him a hard drive. They didn't say it directly, but they did. Like
yeah. Well, they did say we had to replace and fix the damaged portions of your brain, but you are still you. We left everything that makes you, you.
No, it's not a robot that thinks it's a man. It's a robot that thinks it's Alex Murphy. And that's okay.
The same damn thing.
Yeah, that was weird. But I don't know. I didn't like it. I even texted my girlfriend halfway through, and I was like, "This movie's so boring. I hope Brett hates it."
I mean, yeah, like I'm watching it going, I don't hate it as much the first, because when I saw it in theaters, I went in with like, this movie's gonna suck, and I'm sitting there going, yep, got out. That movie sucked.
You're after time, like, where's my money? Give me my money back.
I'm not gonna pull a Stan and Kenny and go run into Steven or Tub and get my money back because I didn't like the movie.
We don't know who made this movie. You just admitted. Who the hell? I'm gonna find out who directed this pile. You keep talking.
Michael Bay. Oh wait, Josie Padilla.
Josie or Jose?
Jose Padilla.
Padilla.
Well, sorry, when I see...
what a generic name.
I got Josie.
It's Jose. What a generic name. I don't know who that is. Has he directed anything else? Other than, like, his children's birthday parties? Like... But it takes more than one person to make a bad movie.
Yep.
And I feel like an actor is always smart to take money. You need to make a paycheck. That's fair. But I also feel like a studio is like, this movie is supposed to be really cool, like action-y or something like that, but we're afraid it's going to suck. Somebody get Sam Jackson in here. Am I wrong?
Yeah. That might be right. They were hoping that Sam Jackson being in this movie would kind of give it a little boost.
If they wanted Sam Jackson to rescue the movie, they should have just had a black Robocop. And it should have been like super R-rated because he's like hey, motherfucker, you know, and just blowing people's brains out. Like, I'm okay.
I want badass motherfucking Robocop.
That movie would be so much better.
And he's wielding a purple gun.
Right. Oh my god, it's super shiny. Oh my god, yes. That movie would rock. Holy shit.
Wouldn't it?
And you get someone who's like a horrible white supremacist to be in charge of Omnicorp. Holy crap. And since it's Detroit, his fucking buddy cop, Lewis, is played by Eminem. Come on. This movie, we're already writing a much better movie. And we have half the cast.
Think about it though, Dylan. How many times have we written a better movie when we start talking about stuff? Like, what if we should? If it was us, we've done and like 10 minutes in, it's like, holy shit! Look what we have that's already better.
I know. Oh my god. How would Sam Jackson do the Dead or Alive line?
Let's see.
What would that sound like?
Dead or alive, motherfucker. You coming with me.
Maybe. I feel like it needs something more powerful in there.
I don't know. All I know, this movie would be littered with F-bombs.
Oh, I know. It would be so good. Holy crap, I'd watch the hell out of it. Oh, where's Black Robocop? Come on. They put him in a black suit. Can I put a black man in there? Like, also, if we're going to make his family important, let's think ahead. Let's go 6 months down the road after the movie has transpired. What's the sexual relationship with his wife like? Is it very good? He's got one hand and a robotic piston for an arm. That he doesn't have testicles anymore. I'm going to go this far. He doesn't have testicles anymore. So he's not making testosterone anymore. So
all he is a head and a set of lungs. And
for no reason he's got lungs, so you can drown him at least. But testosterone. So does he want sex anymore?
Probably not.
And if he does, is he frustrated that he doesn't have one of these? Like,
you know, I would imagine so. There'd be a lot of anger there.
I think they're going to get a divorce. And she's going to wind up with Lewis. And, you know, his son's going to grow up and be like, Daddy, it sucks you ain't got a wiener.
Well, son, I'd like to give you the talk about the birds and the bees, but that got removed that night when I got blown up outside your bedroom window.
Oh my god. A car bomb. Woo! Oh, and what the hell? Like, I get... What year is this supposed to take place in?
Huh?
I
don't know. I'm not sure.
They never tell you what year this is. But we have these little pieces of glass that are phones. And I don't mean an iPhone. They have little pieces of glass.
No. It was it's a piece of glass with
a little plastic
turd.
Like
a phone, essentially glass, but there's like a small part underneath that looks like an iPhone thing, or like the power button for your phone.
Why do we need these stupid things? Stupid things. I don't understand. But did they call him Tin Man in the original?
Nope.
I kind of.
That was an insult for the asshole to call him.
Right. Yeah, I know that. But I was just
and then during his test, he started playing "If I Only Had a Heart."
Yeah, I kind of liked that actually. But
yeah, that was acceptable.
Yeah, but god damn,
it was silly. I think I liked it because it was silly.
Right. Well, I mean, it gave them a little bit of personality, even though it was unimportant. So I guess that's where that is. We've got 15 minutes left of this, baby. So let's tangent.
We've been talking about 45 minutes about this movie.
We spent 45 minutes on Robocop, and we spent 5 minutes on does he have one of these?
Now I'm just thinking, like, the first Without Pants we did, I think we spent a total, like, maybe 20 minutes talking about Unbreakable Kimmy.
Yeah, and we talked about the series, not just the episode we watched.
Yeah.
So.
And yet this movie shot all the way through, almost.
Right. So, why haven't we seen Secrets of the Universe? I mean, we took like 3 or 4 weeks off from this because I was busy, then you were busy, then I was busy, and then here we are. But why haven't we seen Secrets of the Universe? I walk around downtown because I live down here, and I walk around, and all these people I don't know are like, when's that guy doing that Secrets of the Universe thing?
Bullshit!
Yeah, it is bullshit, but when are you doing it?
I don't know. I didn't notice anyone saying Secrets of the Universe, yes.
Hashtag Secrets of the Universe, yes. And Brett will put on his lab coat and do experiments. Now, I think...
Hey, I'm wearing the lab coat.
Oh, you are?
I just happen to be wearing the pants underneath.
Oh, your old outfit. Remember when you did that and you pretended you were on Red Dwarf?
What?
You had, like, your lab coat on. I have the video somewhere. You have your lab coat on, and you have pants as, like, a shawl, and you have something on your head. I think it might have been your neck sock or something. And then you had your goggles on.
It might have been the armrest covers from my chair.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. And then you did
my God!
Salute.
I remember! Oh, my God!
But, yeah, that was a good time. I still have that video somewhere. It's on my iMac, actually. But, so I think that Secrets of the Universe should actually be a cooking show, but you pretend it's not.
I don't know how well I could do that, actually.
Why?
Because I can't cook at all.
That's what's exciting! You get to experiment with food, but you just pretend you're doing something else.
I honestly don't know how well I'd be able to be crazy while trying to cook something, because there's so many things I could do where it's like, and now we take more cow brains. I have leftover cow brains from last week.
It could be ground beef, man. Oh,
no, it's cow brains. Unfortunately, what would happen is I'd forget like what one thing is called. It all has to be like called the same thing throughout the entire thing, except I'd forget and call it something else. I'm like, oh shit. This one's different because
I want you to do it, man. It's so fucking funny.
Well, I thought that instead, like, what I do instead is I just stand, like, get a whiteboard, stand in front of it, and start drawing like diagrams, making shit up.
You need to have something though, even like if it is cooked ground beef, and you're like cow brains, or just something. You have to interact with something, like eat something fucked up, and then like die at the end of every episode. I don't know. We need another Timmy.
We need another Timmy.
Yeah, man, do it. I think it's a good idea. So if you're watching, hashtag Secrets of the Universe, yes.
Well, one of the other things I was toying around with doing is if we do a few more of these, I was contemplating maybe doing an intro animation for this.
Yes, do it. I think what it should be is super simple. It's drawing or a picture of you and I standing like next to each other, you know, sort of thing. And then just there's like a whiplash sound and like the title comes over it, and when the title gets through, like we don't have pants on.
Well, there was going to be like some whiplash, you know, I don't know where I'm getting the sound effects so, but there's going to be like whiplash stuff. Suddenly we're not wearing pants, and I was figuring like we'd be running from, I don't know, it got kind of, idea storming got kind of
And you can be in your underwear, and I want a censor bar.
You want a censor bar?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Well, luckily for you, it doesn't have to be very big.
Ooh. I wanted one of those big cartoon ones that go all the way across the midsection.
Across the midsection?
Yeah. You know, like a big bar. Like, boink.
Oh, you mean like one of those big black boxes when we watched The Room that one fourth?
Not those big boxes, but you remember like on Rocco when they were naked and they had the bars?
Oh,
that, like,
yeah.
they were wearing them, weren't they? Couldn't they take them off? I think they could. Did you see the thing about Nickelodeon bringing back old cartoons?
I saw that. I might actually get cable for that.
Is that a new network or a programming block? I didn't read the whole thing.
I don't know. I just saw that it said Nickelodeon is bringing back bringing back your childhood. And I
our childhood at least, not
ours, yeah.
Children who are right now children. They're still having their childhood.
Yeah, screw those kids. Actually, you know what? Those kids need to watch those programs. Look what they're watching right now. Look what we watched then. Look at us now. Look how we turned out. Aren't we well adjusted?
We're on the internet wearing no pants or underwear, for that matter.
Wait, you're not wearing underwear?
Who would be wearing underwear at a time like this?
Well, my underwear is full of holes.
I see my kneecaps. I see my socks.
But yeah, when I saw that, I thought, you know what? I might have to spring and get cable again.
The other day, here's a naked story. You're going to enjoy this. If anyone's watching, this is going to be your favorite part. The other day, I was naked. I was doing laundry. And I wear, like, the most uncomfortable leftover clothes on laundry day. So usually when I get back to my apartment, I'm naked. And my blinds are always open, like this much. And I didn't think about that. And so I'm standing there, you know.
At the window?
Not out the window, but I'm just standing in my apartment. And then suddenly I get a message from Marcus that says, "Hey, is it your birthday?" And I was like, did he see my wiener? But he didn't. But that's a weird thing for someone to just suddenly say. Because
oh my god.
Birthday suit, right? So like,
yeah.
I was just like, whoa, my thingy.
Oh god, I'm hanging out. And the window's open.
So my neighbors have seen things, I'm sure. It's exciting.
I'm sure.
I have news.
Oh?
So we have 8 wonderful minutes left to kill.
Okay.
Ask me that question you've been asking me.
Want to build a snowman?
No. Am I on the radio yet?
Oh! You got
I
it?
have a phone interview next week. So it's slowly coming along. My arms are really white. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe. Small chance. You are
So
the
now
second.
there's a small chance that I'll be hearing you sit and talking with Ryder in the mornings.
My plan is to go, "Good morning, Brett Scott," every morning.
You know, when you do that, I'm probably still going to be asleep.
I don't care. Every morning until I die.
I'm surprised you just don't do that now.
What do you mean, call you? Or like when I get out of bed?
Hop out of bed and instead of like
Brett
singing, instead of like, "Good day, morning, USA," just hop out of bed and go, "Good morning, Brett Scott."
But you're not here. I used to do that when I lived with you, and then you'd be like, "I don't want to get up."
Yeah, I still don't.
I used to wake you up for class like every day.
No, that was only on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
When you didn't want to have that class. But I'm talking about the eightplexes. Like, I would wake you up so you would go to lunch on time. All the time. All the time. Did you not have morning classes?
No. I didn't. Wait. I don't think so.
Like how Luke just never went to his 2 classes? Like, what?
And still passed them.
Yeah, passed them. They can't see you do the air quotes unless you talk. Say something.
Air quotes.
Do it again.
Air quotes.
That's better. You got to speak before you start doing it, because when it's looking at me, when I'm talking, they can't see what you're doing down in that corner. Which is why when I'm listening to you talk, I'm making faces. Now say something. It'll freak them out. Make it. There we go.
I'm trapped in here. I'm in a box. Let me out.
Do the Secrets of the Universe thing. Speak first before you come up.
Now or forever hold thy speech. Hello. Hello. Hi. Name. Is Brett. Scott. And this is Secrets. Oh. Universe.
You're just gonna sit there and wait for me to say something.
Yep.
Oh my god. All right, so I think we should wrap this up because we're just getting ridiculous. So, how do we leave our viewers?
Well, I think the only way to leave our viewers is by this is the only way that I can think of, and that's just going to be randomly making shit up, but telling them what we have in store for next week.
Hold on. I want to say one more thing. I keep touching my bare ass, scratching it.
Are you bleeding yet?
You'll have to come look. I don't know.
Oh.
What are we watching next week?
Well, according to what the dice said, we should be watching I Know That Voice.
I smell a butt coming.
No?
Oh, so we're watching I Know That Voice.
Yeah. It was Robocop, and now I know that voice.
We're going to talk about a documentary. I know what's going to happen. We're just going to both be like, oh my God, it's so good. Oh God. And then
would everyone out there like to know why we're going to freak out why this is so good? Mm-hmm. Because this is a documentary about voice actors. It's going to talk to people like G. Bradley Baker and
and other people like
Charles Adler.
Yeah, Charles Adler and like Billy West and like John DiMaggio.
Well, they talked to John DiMaggio a bit.
Well, why wouldn't they? He's fucking awesome. Billy West is in it, right?
I think he was.
Red Eminem.
Yeah, I believe it was. He was in there.
Good. Well, that's what we'll watch. So I'll let you do our farewell.
From southeastern corner of the state of South Dakota, my name is Brett Scott, co-hosting with Dylan Jacobson.
Yeah, it works. Keep going.
And this has been Without Pants. And until next time, folks, drop chow and enjoy yourself.